I don't. One of the things about YouTube is, you have copyright laws and shit and stuff like that they get into because they're about making money. But they might have that, a little bit of that. I may not agree with what you have to say, but I'll fight to the death for you to be able to say it. Um, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. That's a little crazy. I ain't gonna fight to the death for Hitler to talk about racial purity and how to mass murder people. No. Um, I'll tell you this. Um, you have the right to speak freely, and then people can hear you and then go, okay. Solomon talked about that. You take everyone's counsel and then you can ascertain who's wise, and a wise man listens and then, okay. And if you truly listen, you're truly wise. And if you don't truly listen, you can be taken in by any kind of bullshit like Mein Kampf. You know? I was watching this basketball game. There's this basketball player for the Seattle Supersonics who I really like to watch play basketball. He reminded me of a more athletic Larry Bird in a lot of ways, but Larry was a little more clutch than he was. But as far as shifty and talented and stuff like that, and Larry was just more clutch on that shot, man. Larry could just hit it. He was deadly. But Detloff Shrimp was a really good ball player athletically. But as far as precision and if you had a shot, you needed to make it to win. Larry was one of those type of guys. He wasn't as athletically slick as Detloff Shrimp, but Shrimp reminded me a lot of Larry Bird in a lot of ways. But he just had a little bit better athleticism. But Larry was a shooter that was just like phenomenal. He was a really amazing shooter. And then there's another kid that kind of reminded me of Detloff Shrimp, but he was bigger. Played for Dallas, and then was Dirk Nowitzki. He was good too, and stuff. And it was very similar, similar kind of game. But Nowitzki was bigger than Shrimp. Shrimp was 6'9". But I was watching the games. And Adolf Hitler was, I guess, what they said was a German Jew. He was German on the father's side, and then hid the Jewishness of the mother's side. So he wasn't all completely German. So he's not big, tall, and blonde and Detloff Shrimpy looking. He's short and short-coupled and dark-haired and stuff. And he talked about this great Aryan race of these amazing, great German people, and they were all blonde-haired, blue-eyed and stuff like that. And he looked at Adolf Hitler and you're like, but you're a little short, brown-haired fellow. You're not an Aryan. Why are you going to lead the great Aryan race? He's a nut. The man was wacko. He's really wacko. But there's a lot of wacko people in the world. And may not agree with what you have to say, but fight to the death so you can say it. No. I ain't going to fight for you to be able to say hateful things. I'm not going to fight to the death for you to be able to say whatever the fuck you want. Okay? I'm not going to try to agree with what you have to say. Okay? I'm going to listen to you, and then I'm going to say to you, do you hear what you just said? And I'm going to say, you might be wise to believe there is a source of infinite grace and love that source of infinite grace and learn to love one another. Okay? Fight to the death for you to say that there's white supremacy, black supremacy, chosen race just keeps on begging, and I want to know who responsible. They don't give a damn, no. They don't give a damn, no. I used to really I like that song. I still like that song, but it's like, who's responsible for the Atlanta killings? It's a black man named Wayne Williams who was having sex with the young men and then murdering them. Yeah. The Atlanta killings, yeah. It's a bunch of young black kids disappearing that were dying. And it was an older black man that was sexually abusing them and then killing the evidence. But don't give a damn, no. But that was before the case was solved. Before the case was solved, obviously it was a white person that was killing young black people. It wasn't a black man that they trusted in their community that was having sex with them and then getting rid of the evidence. There's no way we could have a black sex offender and mass murderer and killer. No, I just don't think that we didn't have mass media and no one really fucking cared. We had young black girls being raped and murdered and disappearing all the time in the South. A lot of the culprits were sheriff's deputies and police officers. Okay. But it didn't matter because they were not people. entertainment devices for people that consider themselves authority over other people. Okay, that's horrible. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it, man. There were lighter people that dark people had made big monuments to their mother's womb and their phallic symbols, and for hundreds of years, the dark people had dominated the white people, sexually abused them, tried to breed them out, and it's just the chickens coming home to roost. It's horrible. I know it's horrible. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's horrible. There was a man named Jesus. He said, "We are judged by what we do." There was a man named Confucius, and he said, "We are what we do in our character, and our talents that are given to us by the eternalness of life do not define us, but how we use those talents define us." Okay, you understand? Okay. There was a man named the Buddha, who was a lot like a similar line to a man named the Krishna. Said, "We are what we do." Okay, we aren't what people perceive us as. We aren't what we perceive ourselves as. We are what we do. Hitler perceived himself as a really amazing, great, powerful person. He was a mean, manipulative, selfish, pathetic person who took advantage of our mean, selfish, pathetic ways in his time to make himself appear wickedly great, according to Louis Farrakhan. You understand? I remember when that guy gave that speech, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get this shit out of here, man. There was nothing great about Adolf Hitler. Okay? There's nothing great about wickedness. Okay? You just agree with some of the shit that he wants to do because you want to flip the script and do that with dark-skinned people to light-skinned people. You dumbass motherfucker. Okay. To sit and listen to him. He made me just as mad as televangelists fucking preachers. God damn, that man is wicked. He's a horrible person. He sat there and wrote down. He used the free press to write down in a Muslim newspaper that Malcolm has betrayed us all by telling the truth about Elijah Muhammad and is worthy of death. And then people who were making money off of criminal activity in the Nation of Islam got together with some guns, went down to a community center in Harlem, and took their guns out and murdered that man because he was cutting into their economics. Get your hands out my pockets, is what those motherfuckers said before they murdered my brother. The spirit of someone who is like my father. Do you understand me? Hey, baby, what you know good? I'm just getting back, but you knew I would. War is hell. When will it end? When will people start getting together again? Do you understand? Are things really changing like the Twitter people say? What else is new, my friend? Besides what I read. Can't find no work, can't get no job, money's tighter than it's ever been. Some of us, we have jobs now. We got money. It's not as tight as it used to be. Okay? But money ain't real. So stop tightening that shit up. Now make it mellow. Now tighten it up now. Do the tightness. But not too tight. Okay. Me and a gentleman dropped off our chicken and stuff today. We talked about music, and he was just like, yeah, it just makes you, music inspires you to do things. My mom said that, so. She said everything is a form of indoctrination, especially the music, girl. And that music can make people get together and murder and kill and have glory and tribalization and fight songs and war songs. And it can also inspire us to have faith in the glory of God, things greater than ourselves, and to want to be peaceful because the talents that God gives us so we can use great character because of great faith to do beautiful things can also do that. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. It's my grandmother's favorite song. One of her favorite songs. Bum 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 dun 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 bum, bum, ba. My grandmother was from Germany. There was a river called the Danube River. And the name of that song is The Beautiful Blue Danube. She had to free Germany because they were getting together to exterminate and kill Jews. She had to leave her Deutschland, her home, to come to America because people were going to murder her because of who she was. Christ killers. But according to Ancestry.com, my brother-in-law Lawrence Benegas has more Jew in him than my sister does. According to the company run by the Mormon Church that doesn't want me to exist and doesn't want any of the crimes against my family to ever be brought to the public. Who the fuck in their right names calls themselves a Jewish peddler in Hitler's Germany? Okay? In a Germany that has no civil rights or public recognition for Jewish people, that doesn't allow Jewish people to own property. Okay. Do you understand? My grandmother's name meant Jewish peddler. Why would you call yourself a Jew and open yourself to the scrutiny of those kind of horrific, disgusting paper laws? I love you people, but man, you love being insane. You love coming up with circumstances like I watch those video games. When the world's in distress, heroes answer, and it shows the city being torn apart and a bunch of idiots that body build with supermodel looks in stretchy pants. Sometimes, when you're older, you go around in stretchy pants. It is for fun. I am a religious man. Okay. That's from one of my favorite movies. Nacho! You ever seen Nacho Libre? Oh, man. It's funny. Jared Hess, I think, is the guy who does this. He did Napoleon Dynamite, which also makes me laugh very hard because I lived a couple, about 18 months total my whole life, almost about 2 years worth of time in Wyoming. And I also lived in Colville, Washington, which has a similar back-in-time kind of construct, and which is very similar to Idaho. So Napoleon Dynamite made me laugh my ass off because it just reminded me of things. And Nacho Libre, because I was raised in New Mexico. A lot of people wouldn't laugh at it because you don't get it, but you have to be raised. You have to know the culture. Funny. Okay, guys, I love you. I'll be back. Am I pissing you off? No, you're pissing you off. I'm just an abused man being abused by complete shitheads, and you're watching for your entertainment. This is post-apocalypse, man. Don't you want to live world peace? Don't you want everybody to truly love one another? Well, then step up, man. Okay, I love you. Peace.